Hey guys, it's Anna with Anna Travel, back with a cold weather gear video. So if you subscribed to my channel and have been following me for a while, I have been to Norway twice already. We've gone to Finse, Norway twice. We're going back a third time at the end of February. It's an amazing place, but it is very cold. And I'm shooting this just maybe if you're looking for a helpful guide and, if you're going to have a cold weather adventure. This is just how we prepare for a wintry type of terrain, because it's very important to, keep yourself warm when you're out in cold weather areas. The worst that can happen is death by cold exposure. But we want to minimize death, hypothermia, or, frostbite. So it's important to layer up properly. There are other like doohickeys like heated vests, and stuff like that. I don't have an experience with like a product like that. They're usually expensive and I don't really have the money to spend on a heated vest when I have all this stuff that we've accumulated over the years, and I feel like it works well. You also might have to adjust for yourself. Some people, tend to be a little bit more colder. This stuff works for me. It's worked for my husband as well. I don't see any need to go any crazier. And then you might have locals in Finse that like will go out in a t-shirt, but or might not have as many layers because they're used to the weather. So, just take this as a, kind of adjust it for yourself, but it's always better to be prepared. I don't plan on being out in the cold very long, but you never know. Something might happen where I might have to be outside for a little bit longer, and it's better to be prepared than underprepared. So I'm going to go over the first thing, which I'm actually already wearing because I figured I'd get dressed as I go, so I'm sorry. Uh, but I also want to show you the base layer. So you want to have your base layer. I'm also wearing the base layer itself. I might not have the camera view to show it off properly, but you want to have the base and your thermal, basically thermals. So these are two different brands. I've gotten everything I've gotten pretty much on Amazon or REI. The Columbia store, we have a Columbia outlet store up in a mall up north, or have just collected things. If I have affiliate links, I'll link it in the description. Not everything I have an affiliate link for, but definitely the thermals I've bought off of Amazon. There is like a debate with like natural fibers versus synthetic. I don't really have a horse in that race. I pretty much have used synthetic because it's reasonably priced, more in my budget, because a lot of these wools and other fabrics tend to be a little bit more expensive. So thermals, good thermals, definitely should be your base layer. And the importance is layering. Layer on your clothing. So yeah. So I'm going to call this section the extremities. So your feet, you want a good pair of socks, a good beanie, balaclava, not the dessert, and gloves. And so for socks, I actually use a good skiing pair of socks, and something that has good like wicking. Like, important thing is wicking. You don't want anything that's going to like trap in moisture. So I found that these skiing socks are perfect. They wick away wetness. I've like, even in the winter when I ride horses, I had a hole in my boot and I didn't notice because these like kept the moisture away. So great pair of socks. Then you want, my mom just got me this. It's like has fuzzies in it. Or beanie, or like I mentioned, a balaclava. Those all work perfectly fine. It's just your personal preference. I like the idea of beanies, but sometimes the beanies kind of ride up and pop off my head, so it's up to you. And then of course your gloves. So these are liners. Because it's so cold in Finse, I would wear these liners. and then I'd wear my glove over top of it. And yeah, and that's keeps me nice and warm, keeps the hands pretty cold. Also, when I was in costume, I would just wear the liners, and then I'd wear the gloves. Like I mentioned, the gloves are kind of useless for the costume. They're kind of useless in the cold, but the liners really did help. So that's that. For your next layer, it's a personal choice if you want to put like another sweater over this, or like a lighter sweater. For your thicker sweater, I guess it really depends on the temperature and also your personal preference. Same thing with your pants, like do you want an extra like thinner pair of pants, or do you just want the next layer? For me personally, I don't really get crazy with my legs. I will just put my skiing pants over my leggings, and that's been fine. I think the only time I layered is when I was in my snowtrooper costume, because it's like the pants themselves are like just like karate pants. So when I was dressed in the snowtrooper, I actually did wear like my winter riding breeches over my layers. I mean, over my base layer, because the karate pants were not going to help, help against like 20-degree weather. So, that was just like an adjustment because I was in costume and that was like a unique situation. But for the most part, I would put on the next layer. So boots, I guess this should have been part of the extremities, but you also want to have a good pair of winter boots. So I got these from Colombia. They're pretty much hiking boots. They've seen Norway twice with me, both trips they've been with me. They're heavy as sin. Like one way to, and this is, I guess it's a travel hack, but it's kind of an annoying hack, so I don't even know how much of a hack it is. Because these are so heavy, me and my husband both wear our winter boots on the plane. And it is annoying because they are hulking. I usually prefer just to wear like sneakers when I fly, but since these are heavy, they weigh more in the checked bag, but also, they take up space in the checked bag. So yeah, I've heard that there's some lighter versions. There's some cutesy fancy winter boots. I wasn't going for fancy, I was going for warm and functional, and also these were on sale at the outlet at Columbia, so it made the choice easy. And plus they are kind of fashionable. I think they look good. And yeah, I like them. They really are warm. Like, if I have these on, I don't really worry about anything. So yeah. Then, of course, lastly is your jacket. I would pick a jacket that has waterproofing or some sort of water resistance. I'm not really sure which one is technically the right term. This jacket is based on the jacket that the crew from Star Wars filmed. The filming crew for Empire Strikes Back in 1970. Shoot, the movie came out in 1980, so they shot it in 1979. I'm pretty sure that's when they shot the film. They wore these jackets, or this is like a replica of the jacket. So, but this is from Magnolia Clothiers. Columbia also did a jacket like this, but it doesn't matter like where you get your jacket from. Just make sure that it's good, it's rated for the temperature that you're going to be at. Because, there's a lot of these jacket companies like L. Bean or whatever company, Columbia, they'll have like ratings for the jackets. So just like if you know that like say Finsa, it can get up to like 0 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, that you're getting the right jacket that has not enough polyfill or whatever you want to, I'm not sure what the technical term is, but it has enough fill, it's waterproof because we are definitely dealing with snow and we can fall in the snow and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, you just want to make sure you have the right jacket. And sometimes if it is really cold, I'll put like another jacket over the sweater. It just really depends. Like I mentioned, layering is important. So having an extra layer doesn't hurt. So yeah, so that's usually like what I use. It's not complicated, but you know, it really does help to be prepared. And yeah, so I hope that's helpful for you guys. I can't wait to go back to Norway. It is a little daunting because we haven't ever been in, I mean, it's like a few weeks ahead of the calendar, because we've always gone in early March. But yeah, we're going in like the third week in February. So still kind of dead of winter. So it'll be interesting. I don't really think the temperature is that much different, but I don't know. Anyways, subscribe and join me. And I can't wait to go Norway. I'm so excited to go Norway again. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Now let me get one of these in here.
Blåser det, gutter?
Just take your time.
For blizzard force! For blizzard force! This is for you, boss. This is for you.
Cut.